It had been a long, exhausting day. Jesus had been teaching by the Sea of Galilee, surrounded by crowds so large that he had to sit in a boat, teaching from the water while the people listened from the shore. He spoke in parables, stories with hidden truth. All day long he poured out wisdom, healing the sick, casting out demons, showing compassion to the weary and forgotten. As evening came and the sky turned golden, Jesus turned to his disciples and said, "Let us go over to the other side." Without hesitation, they left the crowd behind and took him just as he was, already in the boat. Several other boats followed them across the lake. The waters were calm, and the journey seemed peaceful. Jesus, drained from the day's work, found a spot at the back of the boat, laid his head on a cushion and fell asleep. But peace can turn into panic in a heartbeat. Suddenly, a violent storm swept down over the lake. The Sea of Galilee was known for its sudden tempests, and this one was fierce. Wind howled like a wild beast. Waves rose and crashed into the boat, pounding it with relentless force. Water filled the bottom. The small vessel creaked and groaned as it was tossed in every direction. The disciples, many of whom were seasoned fishermen, had faced storms before, but this time they were terrified. This storm felt different, more violent, more dangerous. They were losing control fast. And through it all, Jesus slept. The disciples couldn't understand it. How could he be sleeping at a time like this? Didn't he see what was happening? Couldn't he feel the boat shaking, the water rising, the wind screaming? In their fear and frustration, they rushed to him and cried out, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" Jesus woke up. He stood calm and unshaken. He looked at the wind. He looked at the waves. Then he spoke, not with a shout, not with panic, but with power. "Peace, be still." At once the wind stopped. The waves flattened. The roaring storm turned into perfect stillness. One moment chaos, the next calm. The sea became like smooth glass, and the boat gently rocked in silence. Everything, the wind, the water, the air, obeyed him instantly. And then Jesus turned to his disciples. He asked, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They had seen his miracles before. They had heard his teachings, watched him heal the broken, cast out demons, raise the hopeless. But in the face of fear, they forgot who was in the boat with them. They were overwhelmed by the storm, but Jesus had never left. He was there the entire time. The disciples stared at him in awe, trembling not from fear of the storm anymore, but from the realization of who he truly was. They whispered among themselves, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." This moment wasn't just about calming a sea. It was about revealing the truth. Jesus is not just a good teacher. He is not just a healer. He is Lord over all creation. The storm knew his voice, and it obeyed. And this story is more than history. It's a lesson for every one of us. Because storms still come, in life, in our hearts, in our minds. Fear can rise like waves. Panic can hit us out of nowhere. And sometimes it feels like God is silent, like he's asleep. But the truth is, he's in the boat. He's not unaware. He's not distant. He's just waiting for you to come to him. Because when Jesus speaks, peace follows. The storm may rage around you, but it cannot touch the one who commands the wind and the waves. So when fear comes, remember this. If Jesus is in your boat, you are never alone.